right, welcome back to College Recruiting Unlocked, the game behind the game. It's where we introduce college coaches to athletes beyond the highlight film in person. We tell the story that statistics can never tell. Today we're joined by unsigned transfer guard Kaleb Nobles. Kaleb has proven he can score without a doubt, averaging 20 points per game while contributing across the board as well. Today, we're going to learn a little bit more about who he is, right? What drives him and why he believes he has the best basketball still ahead of him, right? So, Kaleb, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, let's dive into it, man. So, tell everyone, kind of where you're from, when did basketball become more than just a game for you? And tell us a little bit more about you.
Uh, so the game really, I'm really from. Let's start from right there. I'm really from Miami, Florida, but I was born and raised in Sebring. What thing that drives me to becoming a best basketball player and what it's just not just the basketball, what it means to me. I was a little kid that didn't know how to play basketball at the time. There was bigger kids that was better than me. I was only 5'2", going into middle school. Kids will always pick on me saying that I'm slow, I'm big, I can't do nothing. So really driving me going was that intensity of proving people wrong. Nowadays, like kids are, oh, I'm just gonna let them bully me and just go on with it. No, that would fed me energy to go on the court every day and put in work in, knowing that I could be the best person on that court. There's sometimes I had doubts of myself and saying like, oh, I can't do this. I'm not a good basketball player. I probably should do something else with my life. But really, that's not going to change me to the fact that I'm just leaving and running away from the situation. So I always move on past it and fight through it than just leaving it. So
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So now, was there, ever a moment where you realized, okay, look, man, basketball, it's it. That this is it for me.
uh, I think it was going to my ninth grade year. I played my freshman year on JV. I want to say shout out to Coach Brooks. He told me, "Hey, you might not get on varsity. You're not. It's not that you're not a good player. Is you need to work on improving a lot." And I was just like, man, I put in the extra work in over the summer. I tried my best. I go in the gym. I don't know what else I can do.
Right.
And what taught me was not to give up on the moment, on the big moments, because those like that, like it could tell you something and you could just leave with it or take with it. So I took with it and stick by it and actually put in the work into it. So when things were going wrong, I just kept my head up and kept pushing.
Gotcha. Now, so let's talk a little bit more about the journey. Let's dive into the journey. So, what's one obstacle you've had to overcome that made you, stronger in your game? Things of that nature. What is there an obstacle that you remember that made you stronger in your game?
Uh, I want to say that an obstacle that I went overcome was when this is how I went was my passing with my grandparents. They taught me a lot of things of, hey, this is what you need to work on your game. Go work on this with your game, or hey, just keep your head up and do what you have to do. So things like that. When I got into my sophomore year, I put in that work in every day. It didn't matter if it was morning or night. So that's what I did.
Gotcha. Now, in this journey, what's something about your recruiting that most people don't know?
My recruiting is people don't know is I'm a work ethic. I'm a workaholic. Even if it comes to the schoolwork or on the court, I'm dedicated on doing what I want to do. Even after I get done with college, I just want to become somebody in life.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's good. That's good. So let's dive into this transfer portal, right? Transfer portal is we like to call it the wild, wild west, man. It's exactly that. I mean, you have so many athletes that dive into the portal in so many sports every year. What led you to enter the transfer portal to begin with?
So what led me into the transfer portal was my coach Dylan. I played on the Devo team. So y'all know, I play on the Devo team, and the coach on varsity for Warner told me that, oh, we're gonna have tryouts going on and stuff like that, and we're gonna have opportunities for players that want to get moved up to varsity. So I know I've been killing it in the gym. You know, I'm doing what I need to do, try to get my teammates better, not just for myself, but my teammates better. You know, try be in the gym every day that I can to be, so like that they could see like, okay, this kid is doing good and stuff like that. Um, Luckily, the coach decided that he didn't want to recruit anyone except for one player that was already there prior to that year. So it made me think like, okay, should I stay another year and try to see if I could get moved up again, or try to enter the transfer portal? So my mind was, I want to play at the highest level, so let me enter the transfer portal.
Got you. And looking back on this, what did your previous experience teach you?
My previous experience teach me was uh college and high school levels are two different things. You know, they're very different. Like how players go on the court every day and they put in, even if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, they're putting in that work. And in high school, I always thought like, hey, yeah, it's college is not gonna really be nothing. It's gonna be like high school, but the game is a lot faster. You know, everyone's on a pace. You know, even defensive wise, people are always communicating on defense, and that's like it's like a job. You know, they're giving you scholarship money. You have to be there and perform what you need to be there. You know, and another thing is you're not going to be in your position that you thought you was going to be in your high school now going to college. You know, you have to sacrifice that position to get your team to win games and win conferences and all that. So that's the thing that really set me into my tone, is like, oh, college is really different. So I have to sacrifice of what I need to do to help
Mhm.
my team win games.
Right, right. Now, tell coaches what are they getting today, that they may not have gotten a year ago. What are they getting today by bringing you on board?
Uh, what they have not got a year ago was the same person I am. I want to tell them is I'm actually dedicated on what I need to do and pursuing my basketball career. You know, yeah, I had a little bumpy road in high school. You know, I did good in school. Don't get me wrong, but it was a bumpy road. Not consistently being in the gym every day my senior year. You know, people always say like senioritis. Kids nowadays they just chill out and just relax and stuff. And I was one of those kids that was just okay. Basketball is just there. You know, I could get recruited by any other college coaches, but that's not really the case. You know, college, a lot of college coaches, a lot of kids nowadays going from the D1 to all the way to JUCO. A lot of kids are transferring. You know, try to find a home, and it's hard to get freshman kids out of high school going to play on varsity. So that was the thing that was like, okay, my mistake was not being prepared for that moment. So I want to say is I'm ready for the moment when what they give me, I'm gonna take it. So
Hmm. Hmm. Awesome, awesome. So let's dive into the game. Let's dive into the game of it all for you. So if I'm correct, 20 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists per game. Walk us through your game. How would teammates describe you, number one?
my teammates describe me as I'm very passionate about something, and I love having fun in the game. You know, I will laugh in the court. You know, even when things go wrong. Yeah, it's a game of sport. We all gonna get mad at each other, but at the moment, we all gotta cheer each other up. You know, some people might miss 20 shots a game. You know, some person might make 20 shots a game. You never know, but it's always keep your teammates up and try to get them better. You know.
Yeah. So what do you think separates you from other guards?
Uh, I'm very much a first pass guard. I love passing the ball. Love getting my teammates going, rolling. You know, even if I don't average the points that I need to average to get to that point, it doesn't really matter to me as long as we win games and get my teammate going and getting on that heat moment. Hey, let's keep it rolling.
There you go. There you go. Now, there's a ton of different types of leaders out there, right? You have your vocal leaders, and then you have those that just kind of lead by example. They just put in the work and they expect everyone to follow. What would you consider yourself? What type of leader are you?
I'm very much a vocal leader. You know, even when days when we get in the gym and I see players just, oh, I'm gonna go in the gym the next day. I say, no, come on. You say you want to be on the varsity level. Let's go do it. Let's go put in that work in. You know, there's a lot of kids nowadays that it's going to be handed to them. They feel like it's not. That's not how the case is. You have to really go chase that. It's called chasing your dreams of doing what you want to do. So that's how I tell them. If you really
Yeah.
are dedicated to playing the basketball, the love in the game that you guys say you love, hey, go put in that work and come on, let's go do it. I'll come
Yep.
work out
Yep.
with you at nighttime if it's 11 o'clock in the morning. At least
There
we're
you go.
putting the work in.
There you go. There you go. So now, so tell me this: which NBA or even a college player, which NBA or college player do you model your game after?
I'm on my game. I got two. I'm on my game at NBA players, Josh Hart and Derek White. Uh,
Ooh-wee.
yeah, Josh Hart, he's always around the court, getting rebounds. He doesn't even have to be the scorer. He gets rebounds, gets physical, and lead teams to win. You see how he played against the Spurs. That's another one right there. Derek White, he knows how to handle the ball well. Very enthusiastic. Gets on the court. Even a role player. He doesn't even have to do much. But he still gets his team the dub.
Right, right. Now, what would you say is your favorite part of the game?
My favorite part of the game is hmm, that's a hard one. My favorite part of the game is getting to gain that moment when you're on the heat moment. When you're doing something good and you're getting on the road. And I just get excited because I when I scored those amount of points, I just be like, oh, that's crazy. I really did go on the court. Let's keep it rolling. I want to keep that same energy every day on the court.
Right, right. Now, as an athlete, athletes that do it at the highest level and are highly competitive will always say they're working on the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
When that moment comes to where you say you've gotten to your ceiling, there's nothing left for you to do. It's time to drop the ball, right? It's time to put the ball
Yeah.
away. So, what area are you looking to work harder at, to improve?
I want to say what area I need to improve in is getting my ball handling good. There's a lot of things I need to work on keeping the ball in control. When pressure comes on and stuff like that, I need to learn how to control the ball better. Another thing is that getting my teammates open a lot because I get my teammates open. I love passing, but I have to communicate on what I want to do for them, or they communicate with me. Oh, this is how I want the ball to be handled, or this is how I want the ball to be passed to me. There's the things that I like to try to figure out my game and work on. That's why I watch film a lot, so I can get them better for not just for myself, for them as well. So like that, they could prove on for themselves.
Gotcha. Now, let's dive into who Kaleb is, right? When basketball isn't happening, you still have a life outside of
Yeah.
basketball, right? Um, what are your hobbies? The type of music you listen to, favorite foods, those type of things. Let's start with a hobby. Do you have a hobby outside of basketball?
Yeah, I have a hobby. I love going out shopping. I love fishing. Don't get me wrong. I go fishing sometimes here and there. Uh, I love spending time with my family. That's another thing too. So those are my three hobbies right there. Uh, really, my favorite food. I'm very Puerto Rican, so I love churrasco. It's like
Okay.
steak. So I
Oh yeah.
love that.
Oh yeah. Ain't no need to explain here, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, I love that as well. Other things I love to do. I'm very fun on the court, off and on the court. I just love being part of my teammates. When season comes on, I want to get to know them. I'm not just a person that's just super dedicated on basketball and getting to it. I just love how to understand them as, oh, this is this type of person. He likes to do this. Let's go do that. It doesn't even need to be going out parties and stuff. It could just be, oh, let's watch some film or let's watch a movie or this and that and so forth. So that's what I like to do. Build bond with teammates.
Got it. All right, now for the fun part, or at least I like to call it fun part, right? Is rapid. We're going to do some rapid fire. I'll shoot some questions. You shoot me answers, and we're going to keep on rolling, right? Yeah. So let's start here. Favorite player?
Favorite player, Stephen Curry.
All right. Dream school?
Dream school, Duke University or UCF?
Ooh-wee. Best teammate you've ever had?
David Allen.
All right, David Allen, I hope you're listening. Favorite shoes?
Favorite shoes, Kobe's.
Ooh-wee. Pre-game meal?
Pre-game meal, Chick-fil-A.
All right. Favorite gym you've played in?
IMG.
Okay. Favorite basketball memory?
When I went to Texas with my AU team, FTL, fill in the lane.
Okay. Now, who motivates you the most?
My mom.
I love it. One word that best describes you.
Enthusiastic.
Love it. All right, that's our rapid fire. So look, now we want to get serious for a moment, and we want to talk to the coaches, right? This is probably the most important part of this entire podcast. Imagine every college coach in the nation is tuning in right now to find out who Kaleb truly is, So take this time right now to send a message to these college coaches. What do you want them to know about you?
I want college coaches to know about Kaleb Nobles is that he's a kid that's trying to make something out of his life, what basketball career goes on. He wants to get his team to what he needs to be at, even if I'm not the best leader or I'm just a player that's a role player, I want to be that part of the team, that brings them to a journey or brings them to a conference championship or bring them to a national championship. Who knows, I just want them to know I'm very dedicated on what I want to do and what position they put me at. It really doesn't matter as long as I could get to play with them and understand them and play at the highest level. That's all I care about.
Love it. Coaches, you heard it here first. College Recruiting Unlocked. Kaleb, thank you, man. Thank you for sharing your journey today. I really appreciate you taking time out in your day to jump on this podcast with me. And welcome to the family as well. Welcome to the Pro 7 Sports Recruiting family. We're going to enjoy working with you, alongside you, in getting your exposure out and helping you land into a situation that's going to benefit you in the long run. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So at College Recruiting Unlocked, we believe coaches recruit people, not just players. Yeah, talent matters. Yeah, your GPA matters. It matters, but they're not just recruiting that alone. Today's conversation gave coaches the opportunity to see you, your maturity, your determination, your enthusiasm, beyond the box scores, beyond the stats. So if you're a college coach looking for a versatile guard who can score, rebound, create opportunities for teammates, and is motivated, look no further. Kaleb Nobles, he's here, he's ready, he's waiting to speak with you. He's waiting for you to evaluate him. So until next time, remember, this whole recruiting thing is about more than just stats, right? It really, really is. Every athlete has a story, and every story deserves to be heard. And today, Kaleb, your story has been heard. This is College Recruiting Unlocked, the game behind the game. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.